Well, I guess it's true what they said last week. The SEC is just garbage. Uh, Ole Miss is losing to Tulane. Now, you might think that's funny, but let's not forget Tulane has more SEC championships than about half the teams currently in the SEC. Right, Ole Miss? Right, South Carolina? So anyway, 17 to 10, I think is the score. Tulane's up on Ole Miss. You know what's surprising to me in this game? Tulane's a good team, first of all. So trolling aside about the SEC not being any good, more on that in a minute. Don't worry. SEC not faring well in big matchups so far this season. But anyway, Ole Miss can't run the ball on Tulane, and that surprises me. Because Tulane's good, but Ole Miss is a great running team. Judkins, 11 carries for 22 yards in the first half. Not good. It surprises me. I picked Tulane to win the game, so I'm not surprised that Tulane's beating Ole Miss. Tulane's a legitimately good team. It's a home game for Tulane. Why Ole Miss scheduled this, I'll never know. But they did. But I am surprised Ole Miss can't run the ball. 17 to 10. We'll see what happens in the second half. Lane Train. You know Lane Kiffin can't win big games. Come on. I've been telling you guys this for 6 months. Lane Kiffin's best win at Ole Miss is against Indiana in an Outback Bowl. An Indiana team that was ranked like 13th or something. Ole Miss can't beat these highly ranked teams. And yeah, for Tulane's highly ranked for Ole Miss. So I'm not surprised. Not surprised at all. We'll see what happens in the second half. The whole schedule of games today is kind of weird and out of whack because there is a ton of weather delays. I don't remember a Saturday in college football that's had this many weather delays. So like a lot of your noon games are still on. Some of your 3:30 games had to start late. Some games started early to avoid weather. It's just been strange. So you got the Clemson and Charleston Southern thing. That was hilarious in the first half. Charleston Southern was winning for a while. Clemson's pulling away a little in the second half. Clemson's got major problems and issues. We all know that. We laughed at them enough last week. I love this. I'm watching 3 games on 3 different TVs, on 3 different channels. They all go to commercial at the same time. I swear to God, these cable companies are in cahoots. I don't have a problem with the new rules they've put in college football, the clock rules. I don't really care. If you look like at points per game and things like the total yardage and stuff like this, it's about the same. But the problem is, it's not actually shortening the broadcast any. The broadcasts are still 3.5 to 4 hours long. It's just more commercials. So yeah, you pulled the wool over our eyes on that one. I don't really think it's affecting the game, but the problem is it's not shortening it up. We're still having to wait 4 hours to watch these silly ass fucking games. But anyway, NC State, Notre Dame, it looks like that's going to come down to the wire. I'm a little surprised. I thought Notre Dame would handle them a little more easily, but NC State just won't go away. Close game there in the second half. And the Texas A&M Miami game, another one that started late. Of course, it's a commercial. I don't know who these dumb fucks are up there now. But anyway, actually 38 to 17. Notre Dame up over NC State. I forgot they scored again. Anyway, 7.5 minutes to go in the full course. So Notre Dame is pulling away from NC State. Miami just scored. Now, here's one that's going to be good, it looks like. These look like 2 equally matched teams so far. Now, we're only, less than halfway through the second quarter here, about 11 minutes to go in the second quarter. But Miami's hanging in there with Texas A&M, and I wasn't so sure they'd be able to. I thought Texas A&M may show up and put one on Miami, but so far, so good for the Canes. Texas A&M with a 3-point lead, and that one with 11 minutes to go. Yeah, so the SEC fucking sucks. So Florida loses to Utah, LSU loses to Florida State, South Carolina loses to North Carolina. That was all last week. Tennessee did beat Virginia, but let's be real, they're one of, if not the worst Power 5 teams in the country. But yeah, Tennessee did beat Virginia. Then you had this week's games, right? Well, Vandy has already lost to Wake Forest, another Power 5 loss for the SEC. Ole Miss is currently losing to Tulane. Tulane not a Power 5 team, but a ranked team. It'll be another bad loss for the SEC, another marquee loss, basically, for the SEC. Texas A&M and Miami, we'll see what happens here. It looks like it's going to be a hell of a game. 17 to 14, like I said, A&M up there. So we'll see how it goes. Georgia rolled 45 to, what was the score? 45 to 3. The spread was 42, so a push. They were favored by 42. They won by 42. Maybe I'll talk more about that. I don't want to go down that road right now. I'm like, I spend half my time arguing with idiot Georgia fans who don't see any issues at all with Georgia, and the other half of my time arguing with all the idiots from everybody else who thinks Georgia's going 6-6 and losing to South Carolina and Kentucky for some odd reason or what. It's weird. Anyway, man, after Alabama gets destroyed tonight by Texas, I don't know if I'm going to be able to come on here and defend the SEC anymore. They play tonight at 7 o'clock, Alabama and Texas, and let's be real, the Longhorns are likely to show up in Tuscaloosa and turn one of them upside-down things the right way and ram it in like yet. What's up with Alabama fan? Alabama fans think Forrest Gump is a documentary. I don't, anyway, you can't tell them anything. They're so damn dumb. They don't even know what position Forrest Gump played, but they do think it's a true story. But yeah, Alabama and Texas play tonight, 7 o'clock. That's kind of the game of the day that everybody's waiting on, right? I'll be live streaming that one, but that's going to be today's Patreon stream. So they vote every week on the Patreon page on which time slot they want me to stream, and obviously they voted for the primetime games this week, 7 o'clock, Alabama and Texas A&M. So for all of you who are members over on the Patreon page, you know how this works. I'll post a link on my Patreon page between 6:45 and 7. Just go to the Patreon page, click the link, and it'll take you to the live stream. If you want to get signed up on the Patreon page, the link will be in the description of this video. You can click the link, scroll around, have yourself a look. But yeah, Alabama and Texas tonight. Couple of good games on tonight, actually. What a great ending to the Utah-Baylor game, by the way. Did y'all see that one? Utah ends up coming back to win that thing in the end. What a great game that was. Shout out to Utah now, 2-0 on the season after dismantling Florida. Florida plays McNeese State tonight. They're not going to lose. They're not going to lose that one. Are they? Are they? No, they're not going to lose to McNeese. McNeese is terrible. Florida probably win that one by 45 points or something. Damn, Notre Dame just scored again, 45-17. So they are putting it on NC State now. This is more about what I thought. This is more like what I thought Notre Dame would do to NC State. So Notre Dame would their first Power 5 win of the season. Well, it's not over yet, but might as well be 45-17, up big over NC State now. Yeah, after Alabama loses tonight, I mean, what's left in the SEC really? I mean, LSU's done got blowed out by Florida State. South Carolina's done got blowed out by North Carolina. Florida's done got blowed out by Utah. Vandy got blowed out by Wake Forest. Miami's in a dogfight with Texas A&M. Tennessee is Tennessee. I mean, 1998 forever. That's not going away. Guess after Alabama takes one up the poop chute tonight from the Longhorns, your dogs will be the only ones left standing in the SEC, and all you SEC homers can put on your Georgia shades. Have a good morning.